That's a really good question. I did years ago. We bought a pallet of those half-gallon mason jars and we got a really good deal. That was when you could buy them for $6.99. I think we paid five something because we bought an entire pallet of them. So I store most of them. I did a price comparison of the sales price with the Mylar bags and the 5-gallon drums. And I came to the conclusion that it was cheaper to use the reusable half-gallon mason jar, glass mason jars, than it was to continue to buy the Mylar bags or the number 10 cans, because we actually could go and borrow a number 10 can sealer and we could store in number 10 cans. Where I live and for my conditions, it was cheaper. I also have mice and rats that like to live on a farm. So I didn't want something that they could chew, and they could chew through number 10 cans, believe it or not. And they can also chew through the plastic buckets. So for me, I prefer the mason jars. I also prefer storing in smaller containers because if one thing goes bad, like if one sunflower seed goes rancid, it will taint the whole entire bucket. But if it's just in a small quart jar, I'm only going to lose a quart jar. If the other batch doesn't come in contact with that bad sunflower seed, I didn't lose the rest of them. So I only lost that one jar. So now, after looking at the price comparison, it is cheaper for me to store in 5-gallon buckets with Mylar bags. And Mylar bags are reusable, but they get smaller every time. So now I have turned back to using Mylar bags if I add anything else in my storage system, because right now it is more feasible. Except I do have the chance of a rodent chewing through the bucket. It's a gamble, right? It's just a gamble. But it was a great question. And I don't really worry about flooding with the height that I am, but I do worry about earthquakes. And everything is pretty much secured where it's at, so it won't fall. And if the house burns, if the house falls down, I'll probably lose it. But because it is glass, so it will break.